that whenever we speak our truths as Black females, especially our truths in resistance to domination, that label of being angry follows us like a tornado. And sometimes it really destroys us.
I think it's guilt talking. You know, I mean, I think it's white people, men, white men, whoever it is, the dominant group, out of guilt saying, you're going to do to me what I did to you. That's their fear. And that isn't what we want to do. I mean, we've seen what, you know, crazed superiority has done to them. We don't want to do that, you know. But it is guilt talking, and it's deep. And it takes it because they've been raised, they got born into this thing that raised them to believe that in order to be, quote unquote, masculine, you had to be in control. And at the extreme of that, we see what I think of as superiority crimes, you know, crimes that from which you get no money, no gain, no nothing, and people, men often even commit suicide after committing the crime, whether it's you know, killing strangers or their own wives and families and so on. But it's about being hooked on a drug of control.
But so what has feminism done to intervene on that?
Well, for one thing, we've said it's not normal, necessary, inevitable, it's wrong, it's against the law. I mean, in my neighborhood, it was, you know, when I was growing up in Toledo, right, there was no crime called domestic violence. It was called life, you know. And the goal of the cops, the success in their view, was to get the criminal and the victim back together. You know, so, you know.
Tell us more about what contemporary feminism has done to intervene on that.
Well, we've obviously, you know, we've allowed the law into the house. There was jurisprudence up to then that said that it's more important to preserve the privacy of the household than it is to punish the violence or the crime that's going on. So we allowed law into the household. We defined domestic violence, which actually I think is maybe not the right term. Maybe it should be original violence, because everything else follows that.
Or primal violence.
Or primal violence. We've obviously, I mean, I don't have, you know, you all know that, I mean, you know, shelters are great. Obviously, women and kids shouldn't have to leave the house. It should be the criminal who leaves it. But this, you know, I think we know the steps that we have taken, but what we probably still don't know, as I was saying earlier, is that this is the paradigm that normalizes other violence. We still see it as somewhat separate and apart and somehow not as serious, when in fact it is the seed of other violence.